What's up, everybody?
What's up?
It's ViruLe Gaming. We got Trevor, Tyler, and Batai back for another week, another podcast. This week it's that sweet gaming holiday called E3. It's this freaking week-long fiesta where we get to wet our mouths with all these great games.
Heck yeah.
And today's Tuesday, June 10th.
It's the 10th, yeah.
And so yesterday we had we had Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and Sony had press conferences. And so we're gonna break down a little bit of we're gonna go through what Microsoft talks about, and then we'll go through what Sony talks about, and then pick some of our favorite games.
Lots of exciting games this year.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. So we'll start things off with Microsoft. And Microsoft blew it up with some Advanced Warfare, the new Call of Duty game, which comes out
November
7th?
7th?
No,
You said first Tuesday of the week, right?
first Tuesday of the month.
Oh, the month. That's what I meant.
Let's check.
November 4th.
Okay,
November 4th.
I think it's November 4th. I could totally be wrong. But they showed some gameplay where you're like dropping out
Like
freaking.
a drop pod or something.
Yeah, it's seriously like a drop pod, and you're getting.
They were looking up, but the cameras were on the bottom, which was interesting. Like, that would be trippy.
So technically they were all looking down. They're upside down pretty much, it seems
Well,
like.
No, because they were face up,
they were
but the
falling,
cameras were on the
but the
bottom, but the
ceiling
screen was
Yeah,
on top.
was on top.
Could be that way. But
Well, that is weird because they weren't like even sitting back like that. They were just like standing straight up, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, I'm gonna hit." Anyways, it looked cool, and it was like, oh shoot, what is like 9 minutes of gameplay? What did you say? 5 to
close.
9, 5 to 9 minutes of
Close to 9
gameplay.
minutes.
Which, he's gonna hate me for saying this, but the screens on that pod, I don't agree with it completely, but it did look similar to Titanfall's.
No, the pod reminded me of Titanfall, definitely.
And the red dot sight on the gun too. They were
Well, that
different.
one's
They were
hard.
different.
The gun I give a little more slack on just because you can only go so many different ways with a gun.
But at the same time,
Especially
if it is
futuristic.
realistically futuristic, like what they're aiming for,
It's
then
really futuristic.
why wouldn't they be the same?
Or close to.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not. Yeah.
dead on, but
It is There were differences.
There's gonna be some differences.
It's still gonna be Call of Duty. I think.
it's Call of Duty's Call of Duty. Titanfall's Titanfall. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and so that's Sledgehammer Games' first installment,
Heck yeah.
and now we're gonna get 3-year development cycles. So if you're a fan of Call of Duty, it's about to get real. It's gonna be awesome from here on out.
I don't know. It's a double-edged sword because if you really like one of the
It's
companies
true.
and not the others, you're
Like-
screwed for 2 of the years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Treyarch, I love Treyarch," and then they're like so disappointed with.
Now they
Infinity
have to wait
Ward's
another
Ghost.
2 years until.
And so now they have to wait an extra year. But I mean,
It's
I think most Call of Duty fans, this is just talking from my point of view, like, I think they just like the new games. Like, I don't necessarily, like, hate one studio and love another. I just like that there's a new Call of Duty game coming out, and there's something different, and there's new kill streaks, and there's new ways to just shit on people all day.
All the time.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, it excites me. But I'm kind of
I give each company, like, may not like one of the games, like Modern Warfare 3, I hated. I hated that.
and I
Everyone
love
else loved it. And they're like, oh,
Right?
Modern
It
Warfare
was-
3 is the
it was one of the
best. I
best
hated
ones.
it.
This is my favorite.
I hated it so much.
I'm kind of the same way with that. I didn't like the Black Ops series really that much. I
Black
played it.
Ops, I enjoyed, actually.
I played it, but it wasn't as fun. I like Modern Warfare 3 a lot better.
I didn't like Black Ops 1's multiplayer, but I didn't really have anyone to play with. But then Black Ops 2 came out, and I had, like, these guys, and we had a big, huge group, and we just go in and, like, mess around and freaking dominate.
Sad thing is we dominate while messing around, so.
Yeah.
Well, It's not hard to be good at Call of Duty. Well, it did take me like 6 months to get good, but that's another story.
No, I started after him, so it's taken me up till now to get good.
Wait, you're still working on that though? No.
Oh, shut up.
What's up? Anything else you want to say about COD?
Nah.
COD,
Not really.
the big COD. Okay, sweet. And then the next game Microsoft showed was Forza Horizon 2, which it's gonna use Forza Motorsports 5's graphics engine, and then add a weather system and a day and night system that changes.
And an open world system.
That changes in real time. Yeah, it's gonna be more open world. Like,
You know, you're actually able to drive around instead of, oh, let's pick this track and drive around this track.
Yeah.
You're able to screw around in
I
the
don't know
city.
how big open world it is, but it's gonna be pretty
You're gonna have more leeway than
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't really talk much about it besides the weather system, the day and night change,
But
and the graphics being used for Motorsports 5. And then they showed a short trailer.
They're kind of showing off the weather system and the graphics.
Yeah, some cars.
Other than that, it really was
Just like 3 minutes of guitar playing.
That definitely wasn't like a highlight or anything. That was just.
Well, I mean, if you're a Forza fan, it's definitely something to
be excited for.
be excited for. I'm not the biggest racing fan, but I found myself kind of excited for it. So I'll probably get it, but I have a game buying addiction. So
Yeah, you do.
yeah, explains. Yeah, I do. All right. Then moving on, we had Evolve, which that was really good. They freaking showed some of the like smaller monsters a little bit. You just kind of caught glimpses, and then they also showed a different like
The new one.
mega monster that it's kind of like a Cthulhu.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
it looks like a
mythical
Cthulhu.
creature. Yeah, it's
like a Cthulhu, electric eel, just big monster.
Yeah.
freaking
hybrid.
Yeah.
wrecks it up.
Yeah.
It looked tight.
Yeah, it was awesome. And let's see, was that it? What else do we have from Evolve? Hashtag
Hashtag
4v1.
Yeah, 4v1. No, that was really it. They showed the new monster. They just kind of showed a couple of the hunters.
True. Yeah, well,
we
they
were-
did go
that we
through
were
all
in
the
release.
classes.
Which I feel that's
That's
a
right.
game where everyone's gonna want to be the monster, and it's gonna be
Heck
hard.
yeah.
Yeah, he definitely wants to be
I want to be
the
the monster all the
Like,
time.
Look,
It's fun.
Yeah, but that's the issue. Everyone wants to do it, so it's gonna be hard to get into a
I'll
game.
gladly not be a monster. But
Yeah.
what were the classes? We had the trapper.
You got the trapper, the medic, the support, and the
assault or something. Like
assault.
that.
I don't remember.
It's
Tank?
It's like
They call him a tank.
Did they call him a tank?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember the. I always forget that fourth one.
Wow, we suck.
Well, here you can even look it up really quick.
It's okay.
Too late. I'm already doing it.
Okay, he is gonna look it up.
Or I'm looking up that. Oh, there you go.
He's gonna look it up.
No, but yeah. I mean, being the hunters would be a lot of fun. I just want to be the monster a lot more
for sure.
than a hunter.
Or I'm kind of curious. Like, what would you guys want to be? Leave a comment below. Like, if you want to play more of the monster or more as the people hunting the monsters. Because I honestly think it'd be cool to hunt. Like, oh my gosh, look, there's a trail. Oh shit, he's there.
The hunting,
I feel
would
like
be a
being
lot
the monster, you don't have to be as smart about the way you play, but as
Well,
a
at first
hunter-
you do, because
Yeah.
at first you start
At
small,
first you're like the
and then you
small
work.
guy.
But then once you get big enough, I mean,
Yeah, you can
just
pretty
be
much
like-
just go kill him.
whereas the hunters, you actually requires you to be somewhat proficient
Tactical.
in being able to
Tactical about
take
this.
down someone who's stronger than you.
Yeah, so we're right. It was assault. The last one was assault.
Okay.
So you
I
got your
was
assault,
right.
medic, support, and trapper.
Trapper. Sweet.
And then they have 8 characters where there's two
Two
in
in
each
each class, yeah.
section. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's a girl and guy for each one.
Is it a girl and guy?
I'd imagine.
I didn't see
It
if
might
there's a-
be. I don't know for sure. I know there's a girl.
There is a girl and she's the medic.
She's hot.
But then they
I
brought
saw
in
a
a
guy
new
with
medic
a
who's a guy. Yeah, there's a guy with a sniper, silent sniper rifle
or
who can
something
turn
like
invisible,
that.
and he's a medic.
There
A
might
very
be a
stealthy
guy.
medic.
and girl for each.
Well, medics would be
Well, they're
to be
well,
stealthy.
that's
can't-
actually not true because the support or the assault, there's actually a robot that replaces one of the girls. Unless it's a
We'll
girl,
find
unless it's
out
a
when it
girl
comes
robot.
out.
Sexist dicks.
Oh my
I
god.
guess.
No, I don't know. All right, so yeah, leave a comment. Don't forget what you want to be: predator, well, monster, or the hunters.
Alien or predator.
I'm curious. And then they brought out Assassin's Creed Unity.
That I think all of us got excited.
And us
for.
three kind of lost it. We were like, oh my gosh.
We're
This
gonna
is
have fun with
beautiful.
that.
That co-op play was amazing.
Yeah,
Just
it
how
was.
how everybody you just see everybody and you just see another assassin jump up a building. You're like, oh, I'll follow him. And you jump up there and there's already another assassin in there.
Yeah, or you go your own way and divide and conquer.
Yeah,
or,
divide.
Yeah,
Divide up, take out people your own
Because
way.
that huge group, I mean, solo that would be pretty tricky because you'd be surrounded. Even in the older games where it's easier to take on large groups.
Yeah.
Like that would be tricky. But
Take out
now-
large groups was the fun part though sometimes.
it made life interesting.
when you were surrounded by all those guards, you just take them all out by your counters and it's like done.
Yeah.
Throw a couple into some breakable objects.
That's
that
true.
Totally
And the newer ones.
rape.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool though, because like the trailer starts out, and it's just one guy, one assassin, in like a long dark robe. Like
Yeah.
It was
from
kind of
blue.
like a greenish robe, like a
It
hunter's
was
green.
blue.
Was it?
I thought
Yeah,
it was
It
more
looked
like
hunter's green to me.
what looked more blue.
Yeah, it looked
was
hunter's
like a
green to
dark
me.
blue. And then he's going, and it's like a mission pops up. You have to go kill this guy. And then slowly, as you're getting further into the mission, the other three players come in, and like you have two players, and you're climbing up a wall. You pop in a building, and then all of a sudden, the third player comes from the side and takes out two guards,
Yeah.
and like stuff like it's
Like
just so
that-
cool.
That'd be sick. Like you don't even know where they are, and all of a sudden they're there taking out half the guys. for you.
They're helping you out. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't
I
have to touch
thought
a
it
guy.
was funny
Yeah.
that it's supposed to take place in France or Paris,
Paris.
and they had a French guy introduce it.
It's like it's because Ubisoft's French.
Yeah,
studio.
Ubisoft.
I know, but still,
I know.
I mean,
But it takes place. It's supposed to take place in like the middle of the French Revolution or whatever.
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
that
I
what
think
it was? It
so.
was
Yeah,
like
that's the French
1776
Revolution.
or something.
That are really, really close because the guillotine, which typically was around the time which England and France weren't getting along, like
Well, I think
Tale of Two Cities kind of era,
they were just I don't know.
French Revolution.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
gotta
French
say that the
Revolution.
end of that playthrough was insane. Guy gets his head chopped off, put on a
I like
pike,
that. I
and
hope they
stood up.
introduce that into
There was
the game.
more too.
Like
They
the other
showed-
their point
Yeah.
of view. Like I think that'd be sick. Like
Like
whenever
the
you
dead?
assassinate someone,
Oh,
you
see
see
it from
their point of view.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
did. You killed him, or
You
You throw him off
out of the
the-
building.
Yeah. out of the
building,
building.
he
Into
obviously
a crowd
got
of
hurt,
people.
but then the mob killed him, mounted his head on a stake, and
Yeah.
lifted it up.
But from the time he goes out the building,
You're
it switches to his point of view.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
like, okay, you look up, and all of a sudden, like, you see your body over there, you're like, what the crap? And you get raised up, and then it switches to third person, and you see his head on a stake.
Yeah, it was insane.
And then it like pans out even
Pans out to
more
a
and
bunch of the-
rotates. And there's like probably four or
A
five.
bunch of the nobles that they put up on pikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just their heads, and they're like
Uh,
freaking out. And
and then it
oh,
shows those four on the roof, which
It's
was
insane.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm so curious to know who the historical characters are for that game, though.
Yeah.
Because
That's like a
I thought I
vital
caught a
part
name.
of Assassin's Creed. It's
Yeah,
like
that-
historical characters
I
somewhere in it.
thought I caught a name, but then I just lost it.
I
right
think it was
after.
the name of the assassin or something.
Yeah,
that-
well, like when they were showing player one, that guy's name came
it
up.
was
for
like
that guy.
Arnold Victor something or
I don't know.
I know his first name.
That's something I'm probably gonna look up and since I'm curious about it.
But sadly, for everyone who doesn't own an Xbox One, a nice PC or a PS4, you can't play this game because it's exclusive to those consoles.
Yeah, that means I'm screwed.
Yeah, and he's screwed. But there's been rumors floating about Assassin's Creed Comet. It's codename Comet. I don't know if that's official name.
I can't imagine that being a real name because
Well, it was Assassin's Creed Unity, and then that was official. So it might be Comet. and that's supposed to be coming out for the previous gen, the 360s, the PS3s. But it was curious because you didn't hear a single thing about
like
that
not they didn't deny it yet, but they didn't even
it wasn't mentioned at all. No, Ubisoft
yet.
didn't talk about it.
It's
Microsoft.
possible. Gamescom.
Well, Gamescom is August, or Gamescom is August.
Yeah.
And then TG. No, it wouldn't be a TGS or TGS, whatever.
Yeah.
No, you're right. The main character is Arnold Victor something. I lost the last word right as I turned it off.
Yeah. So I mean,
we'll get the actual name.
Are you guys gonna play? I don't know.
Arnold Victor Dorian.
Dorian. That was it.
You guys should. Yeah, I'm curious though if you guys are gonna get a group of friends and play. If you have the console needed to get it, which it comes out. What was it? October 28th. I believe.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I believe October 28th is the release date for Assassin's Creed Unity, and
I'm not playing with these faggots.
Whatever.
please, he's gonna
You'll
play
need
it
us.
Yeah.
because
I
he's
will.
gonna get something that we'll talk about later.
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
I will.
So he's gonna play with us, but we're curious if you guys are gonna get it, and if you're gonna play by yourself, or if you're gonna get your group of friends and just run town on this place.
Heck yeah.
And then, so let's see. After Assassin's Creed, they brought out BioWare's Dragon Age Inquisition, which
Oh, that's right.
I've never played a Dragon Age. I've always been interested. I was more of a sports gamer when the first ones came out, and so I didn't really care. I just like, oh, that sounds cool. So I've never played one.
I've tried, and I can't get into the mechanics.
I do have to agree with number one's mechanics were kind of off.
That's the only one I've played. So
Number two, though, was actually way good. I like number two a lot better. The fact that, you were more into your characters than number one was. Because in number one, you're the silent protagonist.
No
Um,
one likes a silent protagonist.
Yeah.
Except Call of Duty. But that's okay.
except Call of Duty. No, but
That's true.
but you play this character that you just kind of make.
First-person shooters.
Yeah.
It was the character customization in one was pretty good though, because you could be any race, any class, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Depending on the race, I think it was.
Yeah.
But it was not bad.
But I mean, so we have varied opinions about Dragon Age the series.
We
But
all agree that this one looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty excited. And then this was where they showed them fighting the dragon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
each body part has a health bar that affects the monster in certain ways.
Hitting its leg makes it limp out of the way, and
Yeah, cool stuff like that. And so it's just cool to see usually it's you're fighting and it dies. You don't even notice that it's getting weaker or anything. So it's cool to see in that you do see this difference.
It could be interesting if they added a mechanic that it actually becomes more desperate the further closer it is to death. It starts making riskier attacks on you.
That'd be cool.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
That'd be possible.
Cool. That'd be a cool code to write into a game.
Yeah.
Was it anything else on Inquisition?
Nah.
They showed some of the heroes that you can group up with.
A very interesting group.
And their big thing was, though, you have to unite the players.
Yeah.
Or you have to unite all the heroes in order to beat the game.
You just don't have.
You
just
can't
don't
just
randomly
pick
join. You have to
whatever
actually get them to join you.
Yeah.
It seems like.
And then you have to make sure that they know how to fight with you, not just be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like in previous games where they were just really there doing their own thing.
Yeah, this game's gonna be deep, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy.
Which is cool. That's good though, because I think that's why they pushed it back, because they're we can get more out of this. Let's go for it. And then they brought. Well, we didn't know what it was at the time.
Oh yeah.
We were
The beginning of it was amazing.
It was Sunset Overdrive. It was what it ended up to be.
You thought it was
Battlefield or
something. You're like, what is this?
And there's this soldier up behind a box.
We thought it was Crackdown even for a second.
Yeah, and then these guys rush in and they're shooting at him, and then he's shooting at them, and his clip runs out, and then
he's like, oh shit, I'm screwed.
Yeah, and then the guy, Sunset Overdrive guy, that they made, because you can customize your character any way you want. So the one that they made for the trailer just kicks open the door and just like goes ham on all these guys, and he's like,
It's like not even trying.
yeah,
Just
he's like
totally
just-
whatever.
he's like gaps in his shoes so he can like grind on rails and stuff, and like he finishes taking out all the guys, and he's like, "You and your box are okay now."
Just like walks out,
Walks out of the
Like,
building.
introducing the game like, oh, this is what was the town's name?
It's Sunset City.
Yeah,
Sunset City.
And this energy drink has
contaminated.
It's
and
contaminated
turned
some of
everyone
the
into
citizens who drink it.
And he like throws it, and there's one that just goes after it.
yeah, and then the soldier opens the door behind him, and like the soldier and the mutant thing like make eye contact, and the mutant thing
Like,
jumps and
just-
gets him.
Like
That
you
was
know
pretty
he
great.
got raped in there.
It was
It.
It was so funny just to see that. Like
It was a great opening to the trailer.
yeah,
It was-
and then
And then he's just like, "This is the situation. Can you survive? Can you be the hero? Or
yeah,
who's the hero? Me. Wait, no, it's you."
yeah, you're the
it's
hero.
you. You're the
And then they go and do some gameplay.
yeah. They do like.
You have to get to an amusement park. Or
Well,
through
you're
an
in an amusement park trying to make it to a roller coaster is what he said. You're trying to get to a roller coaster.
Super
in
short
there.
demo, but
It was
then
very
again,
short, but it
that was someone who knew
was-
exactly what they were doing.
There's-
Clearly,
And it sounds
Somebody-
like there's going to be factions because it says there's two fighting factions. And you
yeah.
have to
That's
get
You
right.
got
past
those
them.
bandits, but I was thinking they were talking about the like
probably
mutants
the
being.
military
there might
and the
be.
bandits.
I thought they were talking about the mutants being the faction, but I was like, no, those kind of would just be the random enemy just sitting
It's
around.
kind of the wild card that
Yeah.
comes along and just f's everyone else up.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looks cool, and it's from Insomniac Games. So, I mean, if you're a fan of what Ratchet and Clank, yeah, they did Ratchet and Clank. If you're a fan of Ratchet and Clank, then you're gonna probably have a good time with this game. It's definitely arcadey, but super fun looking.
It,
And like,
I think it's gonna be like a GTA 5 multiplayer, not really to be taken seriously. It's kind of just
It might.
I don't know, it might not be though.
Yeah,
Because like Insomniac Games, they're like it's serious, but you can have fun with it, simply because of how they do it, like how they do it. But it's still a serious game.
Mhm.
nah. No,
You never played Ratchet and Clank,
no, I didn't.
and that's an Xbox One exclusive actually, and I don't believe they set a release date.
No, I don't remember.
I don't remember hearing one either.
Yeah, I don't either. I think if it is, it's either 2015 or late.
It'll probably be
2014.
during that October to November period.
Because they said,
Yeah.
they started out and they're like, hey, these are all the games coming out this year. And then they're like, and these are all the games coming out next year.
That section of time, always, like of the year, always screws me because there's so many games I want that come out right after each other.
Yeah,
No, I know.
My wallet wants to like throttle me
From
by the end of that month.
September to the middle
September
of November.
to middle to the end of November because there are going to be a couple games.
Yeah.
There are going to be a
even
couple games.
August, because Reaper of Souls Deluxe,
That's
whatever.
Yeah, but
before.
You got
That's
all
not
those.
even including like an Xbox One's price, which
Yeah.
is going to become a necessity.
Just don't buy a Kinect. There you go.
I'm sorry, $400 is still a lot.
Chump change.
Oh my god! You shut up.
So they finished that, and then they come out to Dead Rising 3 DLC.
Oh gosh.
No,
And like this trailer was so crazy. I thought it was like a Mortal Kombat like type game, like a fighter and
Well, that's kind of what they were kind of mixing it with was
yeah, because
Street
it was
Fighter.
all the Capcom characters.
Yeah, it was like just trying to mix it with Street Fighter and throw in a couple other characters there from Capcom
Right.
games.
you,
but then
you
it's
have
like-
the base like Dead Rising characters that they've
Yeah.
had, and then they
You
can
customize them.
cosplay as whatever other Capcom character.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tofu.
or Tofu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that was-
the name of this freaking
Name.
DLC is called this is the title. Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX plus Alpha.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of stuff.
Oh
I
my
guess.
gosh.
If you need a title that long, it must be loaded.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of short lived. They didn't. I don't even think they had anyone from the game come out and talk about it.
No,
They really just kind of.
they just kind of threw it in there right in the middle.
Yeah.
And then they did the same thing with Project Spark. They did a trailer for that, and you found out that Conker
Conker
the
from
freaking squirrel,
Conker the Squirrel.
the squirrel Conker is playable in the game. Is that
Yeah.
what it said?
Yeah,
Right.
you're able to put them in your games you
Yeah.
create,
Yeah.
so you can play as Conker.
Well,
But
it's
there was a comment on the tweets that they were going off of that made me laugh because it's kind of true that Conker is an M-rated character
It is.
because his games are all about going out with a chainsaw and cutting people in half.
but it's
And he's in an E game, and it's like, what are you gonna do with that?
That's funny. Yeah. So
I wonder if the rating, like, I think it's gonna become rating depending, because
depending on
each
multiplayer.
Yeah, because now people
Well,
are creating their own
yeah, you can
games.
create
It's
your own
true.
world. So,
It's true.
but
That
I don't know because
Unless they
they
just make
could
it so
make
you
it
can't.
like
Yeah.
friendly.
Zoo Tycoon is rated E. Well, in the old ones, you could totally just kill your guests. So I mean, they could.
Drop them into the freaking lion's den.
No, you block off the front entrance and then you break all the cages.
Yeah.
And you have your dinosaurs run
He
around and
knows.
kill them.
He knows how it works.
He's had lots of experience with it.
It's a favorite thing to do.
He made his red pandas freaking have rabies.
I never had red pandas in that game, the old original one.
Now he does.
But now he has red pandas.
I love red pandas
Oh god.
so much.
He's kind of obsessed.
No, I'm not that obsessed.
Why?
So yeah, that was a short, just little trailer, and then they brought out Fable Legends.
That one's gonna be insane too.
Lionhead.
It'll be
Studio.
interesting. It's not what anyone was thinking it was going to be, I think.
Well, I think part of it is, I think the first part where you have the heroes and you're going
Yeah.
and doing stuff. But
That's
then,
the original. That's the original. But then,
But then they decided, oh, guess what? You want to play as a villain? You can do that.
yeah,
But
And
it's
just
like
totally
it's
F the
more like a
heroes.
tactical game when you
Yeah.
play as a
Yeah.
villain. You just like put
You
troops
drop-
here,
yeah.
put troops here, put like booby traps because there was some.
Just
And then you
try
just
and
direct
stop
them.
the heroes.
yeah.
Get
You're trying
it.
to stop
Yeah.
the heroes.
Like,
from
you'd
doing
have to
the-
anticipate what they're going to try and do.
Yeah, and the villain whoever was doing the demo as the villain was pretty smart because he separated all the heroes, and then had a bunch of people attack each one separately.
Yeah.
So they couldn't really help each other. But yeah, it looks. I mean, I was really excited for it.
Mhm.
I'm not so much anymore. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting it to be.
Oh, it'll be fun.
But
I think it'll be fun because it's another co-op game.
true.
So honestly, play with your friends, and you can
The
honestly
thing
like.
with those is that
I like
there's
to
some
play by
people
myself
that
sometimes.
don't. Like, if you get your game yourself and none of your friends do, you're kind of screwed. Because those
Well-
games really are only fun if you can get a good group of people that you like to play with together to play
Yeah.
it.
That's true.
It's
That's
true.
But I mean, I think they know that going in though.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, most game developers do. That's more of a user problem than anything else.
Yeah. And then we had.
Is it what I'm thinking it is?
Yeah.
Because I know it's gonna be called something different.
It's it's from the game
Just
developer
kidding.
called
Oh,
That
that'd be
Game
nice.
Company, and the game's called Ori and the Blind Forest.
It looks like it's going to be good. I can say that
It
now
looks-
before
it
we
looks
start
good.
making fun of
It looks like it's gonna have a sad story though. Like
Dramatic, maybe a little couple sad moments here and there, but overall, I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
I lied. It's published by That Game Company, developed by Moon.
Get your shit straight, Trevor.
I'm sorry. I'm usually pretty good at this stuff.
Lies.
All right. Anyway, so like it's cool. It looks really cute actually, and beautiful. And I'm a sucker for cute and beautiful.
Because he likes orgies in the blind forest.
oh god, that was a joke all yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they kept calling it the orgy forest. That cute little thing was not orgy. It was orgy. And then, like, I think the thing that everyone wanted most, they announced the Halo. Well, not the Halo. Halo, the Master Chief
Edition.
Collection.
Yeah.
And they said, all the multiplayer is going to be exactly the same. They didn't change
Just
anything.
polished graphics.
Yep, they just polished the graphics. That's it. Everything's going to be the same.
Yep, everything runs on their same engines,
Yeah.
but they upgraded the graphics. That's gonna be insane on multiplayer because what did they say? Like 100+ multiplayer game maps.
Yeah, like
So-
every multiplayer map they've ever
So
done.
playing from 1 to 4, you can like mix it in. So
Order.
you're playing 1 this match, and then next it's 4, and it's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And then what was the price point? Wasn't like
It was
was
$60.
$60.
Same basic price for a normal game.
But and that's exclusive to Xbox One. But
Yeah.
then plus getting the 4 games.
That's
doing
that's what's killing me on the Xbox One thing.
they're doing the it's like a mini series.
A
And
web series.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
included in the Master
And
Chief collection.
It's not talking about
It's talking
It's
about
talking
Locke.
about the new character.
Agent
Yeah.
Locke
Yes.
is his name, and it ties him into Halo 5 Guardians. And so I mean, it's
Yep.
gonna be cool.
So,
that was a very
Halo
interesting
Nightfall is what it's
trailer.
called.
Yeah,
Because
Nightfall.
Halo Nightfall.
yes,
And then you also get beta access to Halo 5 multiplayer.
That's
yes,
true.
that's gonna be.
So that was
And from the looks of it,
That's
that's gonna be really good.
That's gonna be a great
That's
package.
right. 'Cause that's
honestly.
what did they show that?
a bit of it. Yeah.
No, the multiplayer was Halo 2 multiplayer.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah,
yeah.
it was on-
that was Halo.
Yeah,
That was
armor
Halo 2
abilities.
multiplayer.
Halo 2.
it was Halo 2.
Armor abilities.
They showed armor abilities.
Oh no, that was a little graphic, or it was a video showing like previewing it a little bit.
That's
That
what I'm
wasn't the
talking
actual.
about.
That wasn't the actual.
That wasn't like
multiplayer.
gameplay though. The gameplay
That was an
was
actual
in
gameplay.
Well,
Halo
I
2.
know that was. I wasn't talking about the gameplay. I
Well,
could
that's
care
what I
less
was
about
talking
gameplay.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, some people
But yeah, they
care
did
about
show
the
Halo
gameplay.
2 gameplay.
Well, I don't.
Anyways,
When you play it.
Halo's not introduction, but their announcement. It's kind of all packed in all at once.
Another cool thing
Yeah.
though. Yeah, not what that
They, like,
was.
overwhelmed you with information.
They were just like,
and what's-
well, they started with a little bit of Halo 5 where they showed him or
Was that-
showed Locke
Locke.
in his blue visor and all that.
like
But then it kind of mixed into Halo 2
a
when he
little bit of I think the Arbiter will be in 5 just because you saw him in Locke's visor when he turned around was facing out and what
I
looked
didn't
like
see that.
Helios. I think
I
that's
saw,
what
I saw that they
was.
were like showing a bunch of the characters that were in the Halo series. That's all
Yeah.
I saw, but
Cool. And then shoot. Just lost it. What? Well, it comes out November 11th.
Yeah.
But so like he said, you can do Halo 1 map then a Halo 4 map. Well, you can also do that in the campaign.
It's true.
You can select like, oh, I love this freaking mission from Halo 1. I love this mission from Halo 3. And then play them like in
Or
sequence
if
and
you
make
don't
your own
wanna-
playlist, and you can share the playlist for others to play.
Yeah.
So like you can go see like, oh my gosh, this guy likes this, and then you can totally play his playlist. that
Or
he
if you
made.
want to go through all of 343 Guilty Sparks stuff, like all the main points that lead up to like a theory of yours about Halo 5, you can compile all of those, play that.
I don't even know what you just said. But yeah, you can.
It's because you're retarded.
You shouldn't use the R
I'm
word.
sorry. Your
Uh,
sister would hit me too.
no, it's just because.
Wow, we're back to the sister hitting thing
Oh my god.
again. We made that in episode 1.
I know. It's.
All right. Anyways, move on.
But yeah. and
Halo,
then-
awesome.
yeah,
Cool.
and then they just showed Halo. They didn't really show Halo.
Really
5.
quick, because you would know a little bit better. Arbiter, where was he in Halo 4? Did he just not make
He
an
would be on
appearance?
Singalios, if anywhere,
Okay.
because that group of Covenant in Halo 4 was a Storm faction.
Okay, so they
They're
they're factored into
like
different.
Splinter Cell, basically. They weren't part of the rest of the Covenant. They were their own thing.
Got it.
That's
I was
why the Didact's
curious.
hand was in charge and not someone we.
Yeah,
would
that's
know.
why I was curious why the Covenant attacked again on Halo 4.
Yeah, it's
But-
because they're Splinter. They didn't agree with the treaty or whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And
I never really
they knew
realized
that was a Forerunner homeworld or wherever they were at, and they didn't care for taking orders from the Arbiter about it.
That's all. Okay. Makes a little
Because
bit more
a
sense.
Forerunner is their god, so why take orders from the president when you can take orders from a god?
Yeah.
Basic concept.
Alright.
All right.
I always
And then-
wondered that.
And then they showed a game called Inside, which is from the developer
Oh, that's
of
right.
Limbo, or from the developer of Limbo.
You're right.
I said it right.
Continue.
Yeah, so it's from the developer of Limbo, and I honestly have no idea what it's about, but it looks freaking awesome.
Well,
It's
just
like
another.
Limbo.
It's just another Limbo, but they added a little bit more color.
Yep,
It's not all black.
I've actually heard it described exactly like that. I think on IGN they
It
described
really is just another
exactly
Limbo
like
game.
that. And it looks pretty. I mean, it seems really cool and interesting. And
It looks like
gonna be
it's
good.
going to be very
Yeah, and then
one of those games that it's very story driven, but it takes a while for that story to manifest itself.
maybe
I can see that.
yeah. Well, because Limbo was all about I don't even know. Actually.
Like little clues here and there until near the end, everything starts to fit together. And, like freaking shock them, like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. Or this is what it all means.
Yeah.
And then so after that though, and that's from what Playdead. That's the developers called Playdead, and that will debut on Xbox One first, which means it's probably not just going to be on Xbox One, but we'll see.
Sweet.
And then they brought out their ID at Xbox. I don't know what he was like the president or the head of that. The head of that thing,
Yeah.
the ID for Xbox, which is basically their indie.
They're what they're
It's-
going to be
it's their
using
indie
for
stuff.
indie.
And so they just kind of did a sizzle reel of like all their indie games. Like they showed Aztec.
Aztec Blade or something like that.
It's just called Aztec.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know what else.
And
Yeah,
Plague Inc. was on there.
Plague Inc. was on there. Yeah.
Something else. It looked like it could have been. It looked because what it showed us something. I'm not sure if that was part of Plague Inc. or if like an updated Plague Inc. or what, because it looked like a flood head crab, almost. What it looked like. So maybe it's Spartan Assault or
Yeah.
something. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Well, they already have Spartan.
Well, and updated like DLC stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. But
don't
anyways,
know.
so they have the indie, and I'm sure they'll do demos of most of those games this week.
Yeah.
And then after the indies, they debuted the trailer for Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
He had an orgasm when he saw it.
I couldn't.
Him
Yeah.
and Laura.
I was told I lost my control of my body. I kind of just went crazy because I freaking
It
love
was
Like he was
really
standing
great.
there swinging his arms
Yeah,
everywhere.
he didn't know what to do with his arms.
Like
was
he
just
didn't know
out
what
of
to do
control.
with all of him. He was
No,
just, he was
But the
confident.
trailer itself looked awesome. Like I can't wait to see what they would do.
so good.
What they will do with this game.
And the best voice for a Tomb Raider, Camilla Luddington.
She
Go
is
look her up.
great.
Follow her on
Hey, she's
Twitter.
not just the voice. She acted out everything.
No,
she
yeah,
did.
and she does the mocap.
She
for
does.
it.
Yeah.
She does
Freaking
everything
awesome.
she does.
She kills
That's
it.
her. It really
Camilla
is.
Luddington. Follow her on Twitter. I don't know her Twitter, but I'm sure it's not hard to find.
Google
Yeah.
Google that shit. And then it was just a trailer. That's it. Then it was done.
Yeah.
And then they brought out people from Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt, and they showed some gameplay.
Oof.
Looks
that
really
that
good.
looks like it's gonna be good.
Yeah, and they
I've
were just,
never gotten into Witcher, but this might get me into it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And they actually said you don't need to play the first two Witchers to know what's
Oh.
happening in this Witcher.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
I
good.
heard
So-
about
I
that.
think a lot of games are doing that, where like it's going to be on next gen. Most people haven't played them until this next gen.
Like they
console
mentioned
version.
that during Halo that oftentimes if you're starting something on next gen, you kind of get screwed because you're missing so much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you missed
And
all
so
that.
they're starting to make it so you don't need to.
Yeah,
have
which is
that.
why they decided to put Master
That's
Chief
that's why
Collection.
it's but that's also why they did a new
One
character with
console.
5.
Yeah.
It's kind of introduce a new guy, kind of make a new story with next gen.
Well, I think 343 Bungie 343 has been slowly weaning us away. Shut up.
from everything Bungie wanted. No, I don't know.
No, like
Bungie?
they
That's
clearly
it?
have their own idea of
Yeah.
what they're gonna do with Halo.
Yeah,
They've
I
been
know.
slowly moving
I'm just
towards
teasing.
that.
Yeah,
Like
Just
Halo
teasing
4 was very transitionary. Like they killed off Cortana, which I think is going to be a permanent thing. Personally, I don't
dude, you have to
think.
say spoiler alert when you say stuff like
Oh,
that.
my gosh, you just
sorry.
spoiled it. Great.
Yeah,
We're
but
screwed.
Oh my gosh!
so we're not talking about Halo
If
anymore.
people have not
Stop.
played
Yeah,
it,
we're out of Halo.
We're out.
honestly.
fun.
We have to move
Out
on.
of your mouth.
We're running out of time.
Oh,
Yeah, so they had Witcher the Wild Hunt, and they hunted a griffin, which like they shot it once, it flew off, but then you tracked it through like
Through its blood, with its
river.
blood pools.
Yeah, it was sweet. And then they showed like this epic battle where you take it down, and then it cuts to him riding into town on his horse, and the
The Griffin's
head
head's on
is
his-
on a hook just on the side of his horse.
Yeah, it looked pretty. It looked like it was gonna be a fun game. A lot of things you're gonna be able to do.
Huge world.
What I've heard
Yeah.
is kind of like it's gonna be kind of like the Skyrim, just because you're able to travel wherever you want and do whatever you want to
Well,
do.
the
That
map's
sure was
supposed to
before
be.
Skyrim.
Well, you know what I mean.
it's
They're
something.
basing it off of it.
It's its own thing.
This game's supposed to be 3 times bigger than Skyrim.
Which
Well, there we go.
okay, I've tried
you
before
played
where I
Skyrim.
never used fast travel, and I couldn't do it. It took way too long.
Yeah, and then after it's gonna be sweet.
So
3
they
times
better
bigger.
have some form of fast
If
travel.
you
or I'm
have
gonna
free
go insane.
time, that's your game. And then they brought out The Division, and they said there's exclusive content for The Division on Xbox.
Mhm.
But
I think they get first
It didn't.
first pick.
It didn't say what it was.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it didn't say.
It looks good.
I think they said that Xbox gets first go at it, just like with
Like
Call of
for the
Duty and all
beta.
that stuff,
Oh, like DLC first.
DLC stuff.
It might be deal. It might have been that. He
But
might be right.
beta, yeah, I think they get access on Xbox One.
Yeah, and so they just showed another gameplay.
Yeah, it was another raid of
Yeah.
them trying to get to a home base, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to get back to their home base. And
Just
stuff.
trying to show
Which-
off. Their
Which
map
sounds like
system was
when I was
beautiful. I've never
listening
seen
to it again. Actually, I was listening to I was watching it actually. By the sounds of it, it looks like you can actually make your own home base. Like you go in, and what I
You
heard
pick
this
where you
girl
wanna
said,
go.
yeah, it's like, oh hey, we're at my home base. Here, let's set up this. Let's set up a medical tent right now. It's like, oh hey, we can set up an actual like
you can
actual shop up
you can customize
Yeah.
the game to how what you want to do. and
yeah.
what
It
you
sounds
want.
like it's gonna be a lot more in depth.
what you
than
happen
it
to
sounds.
need at the time or what you think you're gonna
Yeah. And but by the sounds of it, yeah, you can like set up like, oh, I want a weapons shop here, so somebody comes and joins.
do. Yeah.
You're like, I'm selling weapons here.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. We'll still have plenty of time to talk about it.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's
2015
that's not coming out for a while.
release date, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed it back again.
Yeah.
They always do.
But that Snowdrop engine is freaking beautiful.
It is
Yeah.
amazing.
Then after the Division, they brought out Phantom Dust, which I called. And
Which I don't know too much about.
I don't really know anything about it, so I don't know how I called it.
Supposedly they tried it rather original or 360.
Yeah, it's a
And-
reimagined.
It just because no one had heard of it, like they didn't.
Yeah,
They didn't advertise it well. Something. It just did not do well.
Yeah, and then after that, they brought an Xbox One exclusive, a new IP called Scalebound, and it starts out and you're like this guy, and a dragon comes up on you, and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna get wrecked. And then a monster comes from behind, and then you like wink at the dragon, and then you both start fighting the monster.
Yeah. So,
And so
it's
it's
gonna
like-
basically be you and a dragon.
It's like Aragon,
Yeah.
your own dragon,
Yeah. You get to have your own dragon.
except
Ezra.
better because Aragon sucked.
The movie, yes.
movie
The
did.
books were pretty good.
Yeah,
But the looks of it too, it looks like there's gonna be a multiplayer aspect to it.
yeah, maybe.
Because at the end of the trailer,
Possibly.
when they defeat the monster, another monster comes up, and you just see a bunch of other dragons just ride off and go fight the monster.
But yeah, that's still.
I
They
can-
just showed that little clip.
Yeah,
It's
You
all
don't really got that
speculation.
much out of it, but
It's
I'm just
speculation.
kinda-
speculation. Just we'll find out more later.
yeah,
For sure.
when they actually start announcing it more.
And then they brought and then they ended their conference with Crackdown, which
Which is a re-release of 1.
no, it's
That's what they said it was. They said it's a remake of 1 in the announcement.
I'm pretty sure in the thing it said Crackdown 3.
No, it's 1. At least that's what I heard when they were announcing it, and that they're remaking the Crackdown series. Is what it sounded like.
I don't know.
But anyways, very quiet in here.
It's because he's looking.
He's
We're waiting
in
for
depth.
his final.
But yeah,
judgment on the matter.
Well, while he's kind of looking it up, I never played the Crackdown series. I have seen videos on it, and it looks awesome. It looked awesome at least, but I didn't really look into it until like way
It just
later.
says it's a rebirth though, not a remake.
Rebirth, whatever.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same guy who made the first one.
Oh,
Who's in charge of it? But I think it's a different game.
I don't know. It seemed
I
like
got
they
the
were just
feeling it's a
remaking
different
number
game
one.
because I saw some stuff in there that I didn't play 1, but I played 2, and unless they totally dumbed everything down for 2 hardcore, there's a lot of stuff in there that I'm like, okay, that wasn't in there, so I was just assuming that was brand new everything. Not
It could be a brand new game, like they're just
Yeah.
restarting the series, but you never
Which-
really know. We'll have to wait until they actually
We'll
announce
see.
more about it.
I was never got into it.
We didn't care,
Yeah,
to be honest.
we really didn't.
So that's how Microsoft ended. Like, what do you like? If you had to give a rating to Microsoft,
It was a good conference all in all. Like
Yeah.
they announced a lot. They got a new Halo thing in, which is Microsoft's biggest thing.
I noticed that it was really just all games this time.
It
none
was
of
all
game
games.
entertainment.
Yeah,
Like
it was-
that was last
it was
year.
amazing.
They
Last year was all technology.
Yeah,
It was
like they
all
would
about
throw
it.
very few games
did
all
you
to-
know that my Xbox One can be my TV too?
oh my
it's my game.
Yeah, like how many people were just like, oh my gosh, that like last year. Like we were waiting for the games
and we got
Yeah.
the games, and it was
yeah.
it was all games. There was nothing else. 90 minutes of
It
straight
was
games.
90 minutes of just straight games.
So I think they got an A because they came out and did what they needed to do. They
Yeah.
talked about they announced before E3 about the connectless Xbox One. So
Yeah.
people that had a problem paying the extra $100 for that, there you go. Now it's $400. You got that.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to being able to increase the power with an update coming soon. Yeah, I think good things for Microsoft. It's about to get pretty serious in the console war.
Yeah.
Business.
I don't know.
Anything else?
As far as the console war, I think this is really a stalemate because Sony did really well too.
Sony did really well, which
And we're actually
that's next
Look
one.
Speaking of
look
which,
at that. Sweet.